Episode 25, Swimpros News.
Hi guys.
Summer camps, 1 and 2, full.
Full.
A couple of spots for the end of June in Mallorca.
Some spots, yep.
And a few for the junior camp,
Yep.
August 4 to 14, right?
And junior camp, New Year's.
And New Year's. Right, that's new.
Yep. Super new.
Super new.
24 hours new.
Exactly. And there's probably a lot more news coming, but we can't talk about it yet.
Yeah, not about
Next
everything.
week. No, we can't.
No.
No, not confirmed. But if it's gonna go through, you guys who are coming to camp, you're gonna absolutely freaking love it, and I'm not over promising.
Yeah. So we'll keep that for next week for sure.
Yep.
This week, so should I jump right in?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
go for it. You have something to say, right?
Yeah, right. So, okay, and basically what happened, David and I, we were at the gym 2 days ago, and yeah, there you go. And we were talking. I mean, I'm kind of hurt at the moment. I have my leg is pretty damaged. I'm working on that, and there's this thing that has been bugging me since December-ish, November last year. And basically it's my bicep, left side, right? And physiotherapist said, yeah, okay, so what is happening is, your bicep and your lower arm, they're just, they're overworked, whatever, and both are pulling in opposite directions, which then in turn is making, wie sagt man das? Tendon, yeah. The tendon sore, right? Because he's working on keeping those muscles together and they're fighting to go apart. So I had great exercise from Rebecca, great exercise from my physiotherapist. And the thing is, I did them for about 2 weeks.
There's the learning.
Right. So 2 weeks, I felt better. My arm felt good. I could do regular pull-ups again. I could do my pull-downs. Pretty much all of my pull exercises I could do again. We went to the gym last week, was it?
Yeah.
Last week, and I wanted to do, or David was, okay, let's do some biceps, right? Okay, so just for the aesthetics. Cool, okay. Yeah, sure, you know what? My arm's not hurting anymore. I haven't been doing my exercises. I did one bicep exercise and it started hurting again. Right. And so 2 days ago we were at the gym and Dave's like, hey, so how's your arm? I'm like, yeah, it's been acting up again, since last week where we did these bicep exercises. And he's like, yeah, so are you doing, your warm-ups and your whatever you need to do, whatever my exercises are? I'm like, well, not really, right?
Not at all. You were honest about it. At
Yeah.
least you're like, no, I didn't do them.
Yeah. And it just shows. And I think what I wanted to talk about today is that consistency, right? So, you can be hurt, which obviously I'm just going to talk about an arm today. My leg is something different. Basically, my leg is the only lesson I can give you is don't wait 6 weeks to go to the doctors.
We're just going to cut off your arm and your leg.
Yeah, both.
Oh.
Shit. And it's both left side, so, oh, damn. Cool.
Yeah, that'd be, yo.
Would be weird. No, but honest, so the thing about consistency is, if I would be doing my bicep exercises every day on a daily basis, and I would be doing both, right? The exercise Rebecca gave me and the exercise my physiotherapist gave me, most likely I could start doing bicep exercises again and without hurting. But I can't because I didn't. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole lesson here.
Big lesson. And it doesn't just from a coaching perspective, right? It doesn't just happen for physical pain, but you see it a lot with people who have back pain. The back pain gets so bad that they're like, okay, this cannot go on any longer.
Yeah.
And they start doing the exercises, and the pain starts to go away. And what do? They stop doing the exercise, right? That was your case.
Yep.
But then you also see it in business, for example, where you have salespeople, let's say, right, and they have lots of bills to pay. And then in sales, you can do a lot extra, right? You can call all these people, you can work through the leads, and then they start doing these actions, and they make the money, and they pay all the bills, and then they stop doing the actions that actually, made them more successful, right? It's like these oscillating patterns that were motivated by some kind of pain that we're running. It's burning in the kitchen, and so we run and like extinguish it, right? But we wait, and then when it's gone, we like go back to it. So it's just like always like these waves of like up and down, up and down, up and down.
And I guess it's human. Right.
It is.
So it's human. I think what we're trying to say is it doesn't just happen to, our swimmers or swimmers out there or whoever is watching. No, it happens to us too. We're the guys who are preaching this. And it happens to probably even to Rebecca. She lives this. So yeah, it's kind of her work and stuff. So, she will stay mobile or whatnot, but it can happen to anybody, and all I can say is, I'm going back to my exercises. I'm gonna do them, because it just sucks. Or my goal is not to go to the gym, do one exercise, and then I'm hurting for the next 1 month, 2 months, right? I want to be able to perform, even though we're way out of the age of performance swimming right now. Or not age, because Cam McAvoy is old too, right?
Yeah.
But kind of out of that life of swimming ourselves. But still, I want to be able to perform. We want to be able to perform. We want to be able to outperform our swimmers in camp when it comes to dry land stuff.
Yeah, we're working so that we can show you who's the boss. When Rebecca makes us to dry land, we're gonna show you. We're gonna show you.
Like we did last summer.
Yes, we did. We have it on video too. But like for our swimmers, I just know 100% because I've had clients like that. Okay, so visualization is probably the one where this oscillating pattern of like doing it, not doing it, doing it, not doing it is probably because like the Michael Phelps breathing, for example, right? You just do it before the race. It's super easy. But the visualization, I know I've had one-on-one clients. Because they work with me and I saw them every week and I drilled them on like, okay, I held them accountable in like camp style. And they did it and they got crazy good results, right? And then we stopped working together because things were going well and stuff, and I'm cool and they're cool. And like 6-9 months later, they come back. It's like, hey, it's not working out. First question that I had.
Have you been doing the visualization?
Yep. And what's the answer?
On and off.
Yeah. Or like,
or no.
Just no.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just, if you get results from doing anything, like whatever it is that you're doing, and you're getting results, you keep doing that thing until it no longer like works or it breaks or, the situation completely changes.
Yeah.
But you keep, or you no longer want to do it, you no longer want to have a healthy arm, you no longer want to swim fast, then stop.
Right.
But
then just stop in general. That's kind of the point, right? I mean, I can stop going to the gym.
Yeah.
My arm won't hurt.
Yeah.
But I'll look like a potato camp.
Yeah. There's a pretty like impressive, maybe sad story as well. I don't remember when it was, but maybe in the 80s there was a really bad drought in Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. And so what happened was, you get these babies, right, when they don't have food, they get these bloated bellies.
It's because they only eat one food.
Yeah, and I guess also maybe not enough. I'm not sure. But so they didn't have enough food, right? And so there were all these kids that were, and adults, they were like suffering. But then what happened was the journalists from all over the world kind of flew to Ethiopia and they started reporting on what's going on and showing pictures, and it was shown all around the world. And then the world actually rallied to send them food, and they got better. And then guess what happened? Journalists left, and there was no more coverage.
Done.
And it was done, and they went back to, there's another drought and it's even worse. So, yeah.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, it really is.
And the thing is, we really talk about that in length at camp and on the Skool platform, and then just not doing it ourselves just feels weird.
Yeah, it does. But also we have to be honest, right? It's like not like that we have everything figured out, and that's why we have. Yeah, I mean we have the beauty, we can hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something to think about on camp, to have like an accountability buddy. But we talked about that for Skool also, that and if you guys have ideas about how we could actually do that, but like having an accountability buddy to like check in, just it doesn't take much, but it helps.
Yeah, and then there's one thing. So I was coaching Lara this morning, and she's been doing our exercises.
Yep.
Our drills and stuff.
Yep.
But there's nobody there to tell her if she's doing the drills right or not.
Mm.
So, yeah, maybe we need that too, for usually you come in pairs to camp or whatnot, but at least maybe once that we can speak to somebody else of your club or whatnot who can actually look at you. It doesn't have to be your coach, it can be, if he or she is open to that kind of stuff, but at least one of your swimmers, bring them onto Skool. One of your friends from your club, whatnot, bring them onto Skool. Ask about, this drill. I'll show you how it needs to be done. 2 or 3 or 4, or any kind of group of the same club. So you guys can hold each other accountable for doing that drill the correct way in training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you will see it, because then the other person learns how like a really good drill, right? That's useful, and then they will see what you don't see basically. And it's really, I mean, everybody knows a high elbow. You'll be able to tell, right? You don't have to be like a full coach who's been coaching for 30 years in swimming, right? You can just be a swimmer.
Yeah, and the thing about the coaches is either they don't see it, or they don't pay attention to it, or they don't know. A lot of coaches, they have huge groups, 30, 40 people. Mm-hmm. It's normal that they cannot check every swimmer, hey, how are they doing this drill correctly? They're just assuming that, yes, they are, which we obviously are not, because we know that, giving a swimmer a drill is not an automatic, hey, you're doing it correct.
No. I read something from Hubert Koch, and the backstroke, and Marchand, how they're having how they're doing. I forget what it was, maybe on Instagram or something came up where they're like, they race together, they swim these sets together and stuff, and how they're like helping each other basically, with like technical details.
Yeah.
Seems to be working for them, right?
Yeah, seems to be working for them for sure.
That group, holy moly.
I'm still amazed by that one set that they're doing, the 10 times 150 plus 50.
What was it?
10 times 150.
Fly, right?
Yeah, fly. I mean,
Marshall
Koch goes backstroke, but Marchand goes fly and just holds a 126. It's insane.
Was that the long course set? Yeah. And I mean, that's what Bob Bowman speaks about, right? He's saying that when you look at Phelps, Marchand, all these guys and girls that he's trained, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 is like you're having to work out of your life, and 1 is like you're drowning. Then so like Phelps and Marchand, they would rarely have a 9 or a 10, but they would have 8s and 7s just freaking almost all the time.
Consistent.
Yes, and then if they have a bad day, they would find a way to bounce back the next. And they wouldn't go into these, because at the University of Virginia, in the beginning, the first 3 years, before I worked with Dr. Jim Bauman, I had that too. When I had like a bad practice, and then I knew Wednesday was going to be super hard, and then Thursday, and then Friday was bad too, and then Saturday I came back. 3 workouts or 4 even that weren't that good. I
get it. I know the pattern. The 20 times 200 freestyle with Gennady on every Tuesday. I was like, I'm not gonna show up for that practice. I mean, show up in the sense of I'm there, I'm swimming it, but I'm not gonna take it serious. And then as soon as we have the 10 times 25, I'm this is what's up. Right, bum bum bum.
And that's a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
And you say it's a pattern, and that's exactly what it is. If you like swim the same, or like kicking is also one. People that hate kicking as soon as maybe there's a kick day or the coach is starting to write, hey, kick, in their mind they go, oh no, it's
shit.
kick, and they lose the set before it even starts, right? They just kind of don't try, kind of give up. They're just there. They're doing the motion, but they're not doing it. And then they say the pullers, right? They hate kicking, but then it's paddles pull boy, and then they swim faster than the PB, right? Paddles pull boy, because they love it. But it's also a pattern, and so we have to let those patterns run that serve you, that make you really fast. But the patterns that don't serve you, that's where you need to investigate.
Yeah. And the thing is also, this is also one of the things that we preach is, you know, yes, you want to be working on, you know, everything as a whole. But if you know you have a weakness, then that is something you need to work on all the time to make it your strength. Because imagine you're a great puller, your kick is not great. And all of a sudden, you know, your pull still stays great. And your kick all of a sudden becomes good as well. It's just a double weapon. And we did this in the past, these past couple of trainings that I've done, the ones in Torremolinos and some last week. I'm starting to check 50 kick time. So 50 kick on back time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I see swimmers, they go like 59 seconds, 58 seconds. They're going in the 100 free.
Yeah.
And when they have to do a free flutter kick on the back, their time is like 53. I'm like,
ooh,
dude.
Yeah, that's not very fast.
I mean, that's just slow.
Yeah.
And, you know, very apparently, that's the reason why your 100 is not improving.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you can, at some point, if you don't understand that in freestyle, like your kick is your motor. Like if you cannot hold, especially in sprinting, if you cannot hold your 6-beat kick, I would say 50 through 200.
I mean, even 400, dude. Look at how they swim the maybe with the girls, you have Katie Ledecky, who's but even her, like,
she's
and
she can put on the motor in the end.
But the guys for sure in the 400, I mean, they kick 6-beat kick all the way through.
I mean, if not, she won't swim a 138 in the 200 freestyle in short course, right? World record, which is insane. 2 times 49.
That's just Gretchen Walsh. I mean, you know, it's proven by now, right? And the way I look at it is a little bit. Like in MMA fighting, right? You have the guys or the girls that are better in stand-up, and you have the guys that are better on the ground.
Grappling.
But like, if you're already good in stand-up, let's say you come from boxing or Thai boxing or whatever, and you don't know how to grapple that well, guess what's going to happen when you match up? Like, they're all going to try to take you down.
Yeah.
And so if you don't make that weakness into actual, like, make it as good as your stand-up or almost as good, you know, you're just not going to, there's no way.
It's not a sport for you.
No, I mean, there's just no way you're going to win.
Probably stay in boxing.
Yeah.
Right?
And swimming has evolved, right? There was a time when you could just get away with just having an amazing pull, you know, back in the days and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, when you look at how specialized swimming became and how world records have dropped and how fast the swimmers are these days, like even at a young age. Yeah, you can't afford to just say, oh yeah, I'm just not a kicker, you know? That's not gonna fly.
I had this talk last week actually someone was comparing swimming from the 1970s to, actually not swimming, it was about training. Right, and so she was comparing, you know, what her daughter is swimming now, and you know she should swim more kilometers. That's what we did in the 1970s, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, the thing is, in the 1970s, your daughter swims as fast as the people did in the 1970s. So, you know, which by the way is not super slow.
Yeah,
it's just nowhere close to being anywhere internationally even qualified today.
Yeah,
because. Yeah, 1974, whatever, 78, Mark Spitz, he swam the 100 fly in a 54.5 or something, long course, which again is not slow for everybody who knows what 100 fly 54 is. But guess what? Gretchen Walsh is swimming that too.
Yeah.
And you know what? She swims it consistently.
Yeah.
Right.
Out of training, pretty much.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm getting annoyed by some swimmers not, or thinking that they cannot PB at regular races when they're not tapered. And the point is this. So a tapered race, I'm just going to use Swiss nationals. Tapered race, Swiss nationals, they were in April. Yes, you're going to swim your PB there, right? But your PB from the Swiss nationals then should become your norm. And if you think that just because, I mean, you know, if you're Gretchen Walsh and you're swimming 54s 100 fly, it's a different story. But we're talking about, you know, we want to get to that 54. Okay. So if you're tapered meet, now you're swimming, you know, your PB at Swiss Nationals or whatever it is, that should become your new norm. And just because you're not tapered doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to swim that. It actually means you should be able to swim that, because the next time you are going to taper again, you are going to swim faster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And always going back 2 seconds or 3 seconds in 100 and then waiting on the next taper meet to actually swim your PB is something that I am starting to hate. Because that is not the mentality that we teach. It's not the mentality I ever had, by the way. Did you ever have that?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, but like when you were still...
Dude, I'll tell you this. In a 200 freestyle, we had dual meets all the time in America, right? Mm-hmm. So we would swim in a normal Speedo without a suit, and sometimes we had morning practice, or we lifted weights, and then in the afternoon or whatever we had.
Yeah, okay.
Or even like a day after, or like Friday, normal training, and then Saturday would be a dual meet. And my 200 freestyle in yards, I would go between 139 and 141, okay?
Yeah, okay.
It was
still pretty fast.
Disgusting to watch. Not really, dude. And then I went at 131 something in the, you know, in the tapered relay. And so, but I'm not saying like that wasn't the best attitude to have.
Yeah,
just saying.
sure not.
But it's also a pattern. If that's,
yeah, it is.
It's a pattern.
Yep,
right? And so you have to like investigate that pattern. Am I serving myself thinking that I'm always going to be slower in smaller competitions and I can only PB when I'm tapered and rested?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then change it, right? Then go in there with the mindset, hey, like, that's my new standard.
Yeah, and it's going to make it's going to have a huge impact if your standard is your now PB.
Yes, exactly. I have high standards.
Yeah.
Standards for yourself. That's what the successful people, swimmers have.
Yeah.
They have high standards for themselves. Bowman has high standards for the entire team. We on camp, we're going to have very high standards for the entire group, right? But the swimmer, you guys must have high standards for yourself.
Yeah. And just some things need to be automatic. And again, like I don't want to compare, you know, the swimmers we are coaching right now with like a Leo Marchand, because that would be wrong. Leo Marchand is swimming, you know, 400 IM, what is it, 401, 402?
401.
Right, so it's insanely fast. And, you know, he is allowed to swim a 410 untapered. Because, you know what, nobody in the world is swimming a 410.
But also maybe he did the 10 150s plus 50 the day before.
Yeah, right. So
you really don't know, right?
But again, you know, he's swimming a 410, and if you look at the percentage of what that is still insanely fast. And, you know, he's working toward a different goal. So why are we... I'm not trying to compare anybody to, you know, Marchand 400 IM. What I'm trying to compare people to is to themselves. And we're trying to get to that level of a Marchand or a Gretchen Walsh, right?
At least mentally, right? Because that we can, and then the physical will follow, because you got to actually put in the work.
And and what I'm trying to say is, Gretchen Walsh, until she was swimming, you know, a consistent 56, I doubt that she ever went into a race without thinking, hey, I can swim my PB today. Actually, you know what? Gretchen Walsh anyways goes into any race thinking she can swim PB.
Probably she has the proof.
Because she's just
done it so many times.
Obviously, you know, sprinter, it's less volume, less craziness than Bob Bowman swim school, but still, you know, I'm pretty sure she goes into any race saying, oh, okay, you know what, this is going to be it, bam, 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 goes through and just...
Yeah. Yeah.
shatters records.
But I think that's what we're gonna really again focus on, and even more so, right, when we're going to camp, to mentally elevate the swimmers, like with our impulses, but then the group kind of feeds on itself with the energy. That mentally you come to a place you've never been before, and because of that, you can do stuff on camp when you're supposed to be tired, right? You can do stuff you never done before. Yeah. That is the vibe. The mentality, right? And the mentality is fair to every, like, you don't know how tall, like, okay, there's certain, like, how long your arms are and stuff you can't really control, like, you could go on a stretcher, I guess. Yeah. But, well, by the way, device. Hey, just funny, but what, I'll say something else, remind me about the feet. Okay. The mentality is fair because you can choose to have a world-class mentality now, and it's always the question, the chicken or the egg, which was first? Did Gretchen Walsh, for example, get so good because she was so good and then developed a good mentality, or did she have a good mentality when she was younger and because of that she actually got good, right? And I think it's pretty clear in this case. Yeah. And the mentality, it's very fair. It's the same for everybody. Everybody can learn it, and then you just have to be consistent with it and actually freaking do it.
Consistency.
Yep. And last thing, so my brother, he's wearing these barefoot shoes.
Yep.
He's been doing that for a year because you know how we said you can't make your feet bigger? Yeah. He's wearing one size bigger shoes now because he's like wearing these barefoot things and it made his feet bigger.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, I mean.
So there's a way without a stretcher to make your feet bigger. Do you want to try it?
Well, I don't need bigger feet, but yeah, there you go.
Not you. I mean, like the young kids. All right. We got anything else? Or is that it?
That's it.
Cool. All right. We'll see you next week. We'll most likely
have some news.
Have some pretty good news. Yeah.
More news.
Yes, but like for the campers. All right.
Cool.
See you guys next week.
See ya.